Okay, if you're doing this worksheet, you decided to do the worksheets on comparative and absolute advantage as opposed to the Khan Academy practice on the computer. I'm going to do a sample for you, and then you'll do the other worksheet that I gave to you by yourself. Okay, so on each worksheet, on this one, we're going to compare cars and computers for the US and Japan and see who has the absolute advantage and who has the comparative advantage. Okay, so we can skip on down here to who has the absolute advantage in cars. That is just whoever makes the most. So we can see that the US makes 12 cars and Japan makes 10. So the US has the absolute advantage in cars. They make the most. Who has the absolute advantage in computers? The US makes 4 and Japan makes 6. Japan makes the most, so they have the absolute advantage in computers. Okay, so now we want to look at opportunity cost and comparative advantage. To do that, we need to do a little math. So if the US makes 1 car, how many computers do they give up? Okay, so to determine that, we're going to do 4 divided by 12. And if you take 4 and divide it by 12, you're going to get 0.33. Or 0.3 repeating. Okay? And so if the US makes 1 computer, how many cars do they give up? Again, we're going to divide. This time we're going to divide 12 divided by 4. And if you do the math, 3. So to make 1 car, the US gives up 0.3 computers. And to make 1 computer, they give up 3 cars. Now we want to do the same for Japan. So we're going to do 10 divided by 6, and if we take 10 and divide it by 6, we get 0.6. And on this one, we're going to do 6 divided by 10, and we get 1.6 repeating. Okay, so to make 1 car, Japan gives up 0.6 computers, and to make 1 computer, they give up 1.6 cars. So what is the US opportunity cost of making cars? Remember, opportunity cost that's what you gave up. So, what is their opportunity cost of making cars? To make a car, they gave up 0.3 computers. Okay. What is Japan's opportunity cost of making cars? Well, to make 1 car, Japan gave up 0.6 computers. Okay. What is the US's opportunity cost of making computers? To make 1 computer, they gave up 3 cars. And Japan's opportunity cost of making computers? To make 1 computer, they gave up 1.6 cars. So now we want to know who has the comparative advantage in cars. In other words, who gave up the least to make a car? Okay. The US gave up 0.3 computers. Japan gave up 0.6 computers. So the US has the comparative advantage in making cars. They gave up less computers than Japan. Who has the comparative advantage in computers? Well, the US gave up 3 cars to make a computer. Japan only gave up 1.6 cars to make a computer. So Japan has the comparative advantage. They gave up less to make a computer. So which country should produce what good and why? Okay, so the US should produce cars. Because they gave up less to make a car, and Japan should produce computers because they were more efficient at making computers. Okay? If you have questions about absolute advantage, make sure you are supposed to watch one of the videos on your Canvas assignment, and then there also is a Khan Academy practice that you can do to do some of this math yourself. Make sure you pick up this worksheet and turn it in with your packet.